Good morning, everybody, and today, welcome to another day of Today I Work On. And today, I get to work on tiling the floor. So, I don't know how much I'm going to get done, but I'm going to try to get the whole floor done today. So, that's the plan, and I'll see what happens. But since I have a lot of work to do today, let me start working on this. So everybody, I finished the tile. It came out really well. The pebbles are always a little bit harder to do than a standard mosaic tile because there's no center, there's no square, so it's kind of hard to, it's a little bit of extra work. I always tell my clients you have your regular tile that goes right up, and then you have tile that it becomes harder to install. That's done. I used the red epoxy. And with this custom tile ready shower base, I actually didn't have to use the red epoxy, but the red epoxy just sticks so well. It's a resin, I don't know how, it's like a 3-part system. I didn't want to really get into the tile ready system because, like I said, this is a custom base and I don't want to give people wrong information. I don't want them to get confused, but since this is the custom system, you could actually use a modified mortar on the tile itself. The standard off-the-shelf tile ready systems, they need the red epoxy or nothing sticks to it. I tested it with mortar, with the best mortar, with All Set from Schluter. It just flakes right off. It's actually pretty crazy. The red epoxy is just, it sticks to anything and everything, and I know that this floor will never come up. It'll never come up. It's gonna be here for 50 years. So that's done. Now I'm gonna do wood plank tile. So the biggest thing with wood plank tile, and I tell all my clients, is even if it's tile and it looks like wood, we don't want to step the tile, or we don't want to have ugly notches. So I'm gonna do a random pattern so it looks really good. So this is basically it. I'll do like 4 patterns per piece so I save on tile. I should have enough tile. That's the plan now. I'm gonna head to lunch. Then I have to go to an appointment actually right next door. Go over a pretty big project that might be really cool. So on that note, let me stop talking and let me go to lunch, the appointment, come back, and then I'll tile as much as I can in here. Finished up the pebble tile in the shower. Went to lunch. One of my estimate, very nice people. I hope they get that job. Now I'm going to talk about setting up the wood plank flooring. Now, you gotta stagger them. You can't try to, let's just make it a really predictable pattern. It's basically installing a wood floor, but with tile. So I just set up how I am gonna stagger it. I think this looks really good. Hopefully, I don't have a lot of waste, so I might adjust the tile a little bit to make sure we have very little waste. So I'm gonna cut probably the first 4 or 5 rows and maybe try to install it before I need to leave for the day. So that's the plan for now. So let me get started on cutting this tile and throwing down some mortar. Getting a little late. I have about 2 feet left of floor tile. I like it. It looks like real wood, doesn't it? It's amazing how far these printing companies have come along with tile. That's it for today. The pebbles look spectacular. Floor looks spectacular. Very pleased with it. Client just came up and said it looks great, so that's always a good thing to hear. Tomorrow, I'm gonna finish up the floor, and then I'm going to start, which is nice because I could jump right over a little bit of tile, so it worked out perfectly. Tomorrow we're gonna start tackling these walls, so this is gonna take a little longer to do. That's it for today. So I love the black grill, it looks so nice. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I will catch you tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to another day of Today at Work. And today I'm going to finish up the tile on the floor and start tiling the walls. Tile looks great. I'm walking on it. It looks like a wood floor. I don't really put much wood tile down like this, so maybe 1 out of every 10 bathrooms, but this floor looks really good. It's really flat and it's spaced really well. So I like using the Ruby system for my spacers. I think they're fine. I think they're all the same, to be honest with you. I don't like the twirly ones because I think they scratch the tile. I have to get working on doing the rest of the floor, so let me start working on that. I was checking for 30 minutes what the best layout would be. Like, I'm like, oh, let me make sure nice tile along the box. And we have decent tile on the bottom. I'm like, let me look at this sketch that my designer sent. It's a vertical install, so I just completely wasted my time measuring all that out. So the bad thing is I just wasted 30 minutes making sure everything looked good. That's the bad thing. But the good thing is at least I didn't start installing it horizontally, because then we would have a problem. So, all right, on that note, let me start tiling. This is a Moen shower control valve, right? You can see hot, cold. Now, I remember 2 years ago, I did a project and my clients never used the bathroom. I finished the project. It was the same Moen cartridge. And I got a phone call and they were like, Larry, the bathtub is, when you turn it on, cold is running hot and hot is running cold. I'm like, that's really weird, because it was an existing tub. Like, it was pretty straightforward. And Moen, you could actually flip the cartridge around and switch the water system. So now the other 2 bathtubs in this house also have the hot and cold switch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop them off. I'm gonna flip the valve around so they have the water on the correct side. But the pro tip is with Moen cartridges, you could flip the cartridge and you could get hot and cold, cold and hot. I'm not sure if other manufacturers, you can do the same thing, but I do know for a fact that Moen, you can do it, because this is the second time I did it. The first time was by mistake, and the second time was because the plumbing in this house is screwed up. So I looked back on my videos and I saw that the plumbing is 100% switched in this house. So in this bathtub here, this is actually, I was gonna open up this. I have to patch these holes, but I was gonna open this up and switch the lines before I remembered. That is a Moen valve right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop off this shower control. I'm gonna flip the valve and see if that works. It should work, because these are all Moens, I believe. So if it's a Moen valve, which I really think it is, I'll be able to, you know, put because right now when I turn this on, that's hot. It's hot water when it should be cold. And when I go to hot, it turns to cold. So I mean, this does happen here and there. So I'm gonna get that taken care of for the clients for, you know, a couple bucks a piece, and see if I could alleviate their problem. morning, everybody. Welcome to another day of Today at Work On. And yesterday was a crazy day between almost screwing up doing the vertical tile to the water being switched in the whole house. Like I said, I have to look at the tubs in the house. It's been basically switched since the house was built back in the 80s and no one ever addressed it or fixed it, or I don't know. So I'm gonna address that. Hopefully I just have to switch the valves around. A mowing valve, you could switch the valve around and get a reverse flow, which is kind of cool. I know Delta can't do that, but a good thing they got mowing. Good thing they got a mowing, because usually I recommend Delta. Everything happens for a reason, right? So I didn't have to open up the wall on the other bathroom. Yesterday I finished laying down the rest of the tile before I left. It was a long day. Tiling it's a lot of work. It's very labor intensive. To do it right, there's a lot of steps you gotta do. You have to use your leveling spacers, especially for bigger tile like this. Vertical tile is definitely more work than horizontal tile. Doing the shower niche also is a lot more labor, because you want to make everything look nice. So you gotta clean the edges, you gotta make sure that all your transitions are all even. It's a lot of work, and then slinging all that mud, man. You gotta sling it on the wall, and you gotta throw a little scratch coat on the back of these bigger tile so you get a good adhesion. When I start today's a chiller day. Yesterday was a very intense day. So, whatever happens today happens. I'm happy where I'm at with the project. On that note, I'm gonna start mixing up more mortar, and I'm gonna shoot around and probably finish all of this today. And then maybe start on over here. We're gonna do like a rain pebble edge in the middle. So I'm gonna see if I could get that done. So on that note, let me get working on this. Finished off that corner. It was a little tough because the wall was off with probably 1/4 of an inch, and you got to make the wall flat as much as possible. So that's what I tried to do. So when I get back from lunch, I'm gonna finish up this wall here, and then I'm gonna clean up for the holidays. So it's looking good. I have probably 2 more days worth of tile, because all these little tile here are a lot. I gotta do the niche. I gotta do my little river rock coming up the middle, so that adds some time. But it's looking good. So let me head out to lunch. Back from lunch, I'm gonna bang out this wall with tile. So this wall's pretty level, so I should be able to make it look really good. And what's really nice? I was able to put a full tile on the left and right side. It's very rare that happens. It worked out. It's like a 1/16 of an inch, I think, in that top, like maybe out of a 1/16 of an inch of space. That's how close it was on each side. The room, if I built this a 1/4 inch longer, I would have had a big problem. I would have had a lot of waste, but I lucked out. So let me get going on this. I got 90% of this sidewall done. So I'm short one piece. I really can't finish this because I gotta put a Schluter edge on here. And it's gonna take a little while. It came out really, really good. The vertical's really nice. So, you know, it's a lot of work. This area took a lot of time because, like I said, the wall was off a little bit. So I had to build up the back of the mortar to make it flat. So, flat, like this. Just like this wall. This wall was actually pretty good. I was able to flat with this wall basically. It only took me a couple of hours. It's funny, it took 2 rows took 3 hours, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 rows with more cuts took me 2 hours. So like almost double the tile going up plus the Schluter piece. So tile is like an art. It's taken decades actually to finesse and fine-tune the art of tiling. So I mean, right now we have 16th inch spacing here, which is really tight. 16th of an inch is about, you know, it's about that much. And that's what we have here. That's our spacing basically. So to make 16th inch spacing look good, it takes really precise cuts on tile. So it's not like wood where you just use a circular saw, chop saw, and you could like finesse it. With cutting tile, if you're off a 16th of an inch, you got to take a minute or two to grind down that 16th of an inch to make it look right. So, you know, there's variations, a 16th inch here and there, but we're talking a 16th of an inch. An eighth of an inch is something you really see with 16th inch spacing. So I always say, if it looks good without grout, it's going to look amazing with grout, because grout actually helps cover the little imperfections in tile, and that's why we have grout. So that's it for today. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Tomorrow's a holiday, and I'm gonna clean up the whole bathroom so it looks nice. I'm probably gonna work on Friday and try to finish up most of the tile. I probably have a day and a half worth of tile left between doing this wall with the special river rock, pebbles on the vertical, and that's about it. So thanks for watching this episode. If you liked the episode, please click the like button. If you like the channel and you're learning and you're enjoying everything I work on, which is a lot of things, please click the subscribe button and also click on that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.